What's up? What's up, March Musicas? Your king of the night, Vincent Valentine X Turk. Okay, I'll stop trying. I'll stop with the trolling. Okay. Now I want to do another review. Now I usually don't do web series because, well, they're web series made by fans, and you can expect low budget projects, or at least, not more on a bigger scale, but we do gotta at least spread more awareness and more followers to a certain web series that I've been watching. I've been watching the Final Fantasy Real series, so I've already did my Black Panther review, so technically this would be a double review, but for something else. We're gonna be talking about the web series Final Fantasy Real. Now, what Final Fantasy Real is a fan-made series based in Germany, with most of the popular characters from Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. Nothing below those and nothing higher. Only 7, 8, 9 characters. So it does involve a huge story. Now, the story at the beginning wasn't too bad. Well, it was supposed to be Final Fantasy 7. And this does have the multiverse theory, so if you're not into multiverse stuff, then if you get confused, you're gonna be hella confused. But this is why you get to give it a watch several times before deciding that you don't like it, because I used to be like that too. At first, I really didn't like this. Now, granted, what I appreciate about this, they were trying to go for more of a cheesier, RPG game. What's it called? Turn-based. With the cheesy, Adam West Batman feel. So this is pretty much if Final Fantasy live action was made the same way the Adam West Batman is. So it doesn't take itself so seriously. In fact, it's more goofier than it is serious. Which does take a different tone when I kind of like it, because the games do often get too serious sometimes, with its serious, dark, edgy overtones. It's nice to see a refreshing, funny side, of this. I gotta say, when it comes to that, it does good. Now, I wouldn't say, now when it comes to quality, it's obviously they budgeted their own. They don't got the money. They're not getting no grants or Kickstarters. These people actually fund this stuff themselves, which you got to give them props for that, but it's just not at the par quality. And you got to remember, this came out 2004 as well, so you'll understand when you see the episode, when you see the Turks on those old Macintosh computers, those old white ones, those old big white ones that you see, so you'll understand that it is from the 2004 era. The only thing I could say I'm pretty upset with right now, as to terms of this web series right now, is where's Vincent? There's no representation for Vincent Valentine. That's the only thing I gotta ask. Where's Vincent Valentine? I mean, I don't even see him in the background, let alone involved in this series. You said you picked all the Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 characters. But you have Yuffie, which is a side character. But no Vincent Valentine? What the fuck? But anyways, that's just the only rant on that at least, on that part. But as to visuals and stuff, of course, it's not gonna end up good. It's a funded project, so you got to give them fair criticism. You got to give them fair criticism on that. Now, when it comes to fun to watch, I gotta say, yeah, it kind of is. It really is. It's just cheesier, funnier version of Final Fantasy. I think the best fights in the Final Fantasy Real series were the future Squall and future Cloud. Of course, I really didn't like the concept of Genova Warriors, just because I don't think Squall or Cloud, especially Cloud, maybe Squall might, but Cloud would never work for Hojo. In fact, Hojo was one of Cloud's enemies, if I remember correctly. You know, Even though Cloud's a nonchalant character and does what has devil may care characteristics where he will, do what is necessary to fulfill his goals on getting revenge on Sephiroth or saving the planet or something like that. Still, Cloud would never work with Hojo, when Hojo's not only the father of his enemy Sephiroth, but he's also an enemy of Cloud himself as well, considering he experimented on Cloud. So the the Warriors were kind of the Genova Warriors were kind of so-so, but I guess you gotta fit it together. So I gotta give him credit for that as well. But like I said, my favorite fight is between Genova Warriors, Future Cloud, and Future Squall. Since there's different Squalls there, you'll see several different Squalls in there. I think there's only 2 Clouds, from what I remember. I think there's only like 2 Clouds. One has already died in the past, as you see in the first episode, and then the second one's the one that fights Squall. Actually, there's 3, because the Kingdom Hearts Cloud is actually involved in this as well. The Kingdom Hearts Cloud is actually somewhat involved in this project as well, considering he's a Genova Warrior clone. The thing that surprised me, and I gotta say is really good, is their costume patrol, because they're able to get Seymour Guado, and his costume's super hard to do. Even though he was a Genova Warrior, a generic Genova Warrior, I gotta say the effort put in the costumes are at least top tier, when it comes to putting effort in the costumes, to some of them, especially Seymour. I gotta give it to the Seymour cosplayer of the Final Fantasy Real series. Like, really, I can never get as good as it. I will never be able to beat that. Even if I were to fly over to Germany at that time, being the same age I am, and dressed up as Vincent Valentine, I will never outdo that Seymour. I gotta say it. There's someone who kicks my ass when it comes to cosplay. But, and they had different versions of Yuna. They had different versions of course, different versions of Squall. And then the 3 different versions of Cloud, we know. What I liked is that Tifa became the main hero. Like, she was the one who banded them all together. And this was kind of like a Dissidia-esque web series, considering it's about the alternate universes and had those Final Fantasy characters. The villain I didn't really like. I didn't like Crystallis that much because she was too much a Genova clone and had the same motives as Genova. And the fact that you had to face Sephiroth, the fact that Cloud actually had to fight Sephiroth before we get to Crystallis, already just says, yes, I'm a generic Genova clone. Now, I did like the romance between Guado and Crystallis, considering, they're both from 2 different worlds, and it kind of combines the worlds. She could possibly bring back the evil characters, and then Hojo, being one of those evil characters, make Genova Warrior clones and take people from the future and turn them into Genova Warriors. So who knows? But they did put some of the obscure characters like Laguna versus what's his face, the bearded general, if I can remember him from Final Fantasy VII, Heidegger. So it was pretty good for what it was trying to do. And really it's just supposed to be a cheesy Adam West version of Final Fantasy, and it worked in the way that it did. It was completely cheesy. But I think this is more of a fun project, and they established that, which I gotta give them respect for establishing that, because most people take their stuff way too seriously. And I gotta give it kudos. Now, if you want to have a serious dark gritty project, then you're probably gonna have to upgrade your stuff and get a bigger budget. But otherwise, it did well for what it needed to do. So I'd at least give at least an honest 9 out of 10. And may the crystal be with you. Check out the Final Fantasy Real series with the description below. You know, I'm not going to react to it, but you can do whatever you want. May the crystal be with you. I'll put it in the description below.